friggin' out to get me. Okay. All right. I believe we're live. I believe we're good.
We are live.
Excellent. Excellent. Here we are at the start of a new series.
Yep. I've heard you talk quite a bit about this game. So, it's definitely interesting to me. I like weird niche platformers and stuff.
Excellent. Thank you for the sub, Crockett. Hey, SG. Yeah, this is a game very near and dear to my heart. I've played both the original and the remake, the PS4 remake rather, which is what we will be playing tonight. Now, you have no experience with this?
Before you told me about it, I didn't know it existed. And I haven't heard from anyone else besides what you've told me, so there you go.
Alright. In my opinion, that's an excellent way to go into the series. I'm excited for this one. I've always thought this game looked cool, but I know nothing about it. I know Daniel's a goon, and that's about it. I've heard you and other people talk about this game before, but I don't actually know much about it. Excellent. Yeah, I mentioned in the...
They say I'm having my mic.
Oh, shoot, I was afraid that might happen. Okay, let's see if I can't sort that out. Are we back? Are we back? Can people hear us? Are we here? Do we live? Do we breathe?
We are back.
Oh, wait, I have this muted still. Okay. Alright, I think we're golden. Give it a little bit of a delay while people respond. Don't actually see people in chat. Okay. Persona 4 golden. Okay, I'll take that. Alright, just real quick, are everything sounding okay now?
Is it sounding good on my end?
Sounds fine. Alright, I will take that.
Alright.
Luis. I've mentioned...
The old turn it off and turn it on again trick.
Yeah, so that's all it took. So long as we're talking through technical issues, if there's issues with the video quality, just shout it out, and I might need to tweak stuff there, but I think we're okay. Where the hell were we before all of that happened?
We were talking about how MediEvil didn't know much about it before, other than what you've told me.
That's right. Okay, yeah, definitely a good way to go into it. Yeah, I really like this for... Well, you know what? We've wasted enough time. Let's just dive right on in.
Alright.
Oh, and fair warning, since I have the original PS4, we will see a lot of load times. We ran into that issue, too, with Ukulele, come to think of it. I definitely don't think this is as bad, but just when I was doing a test run the other day, I was like, oh, no, yeah, I did have to wait a bit for this to load. I'll let the game explain itself in a sec here.
In a time long ago, there lived in the kingdom of Gallowmere a sorcerer named Xerok. This arrogant, pitiless man hated his fellow citizens for their simple and peaceful ways. So he raised an army of demons and set out to take the realm for his own. The king's champion, Sir Daniel Fortescue, led the militia in the battle against this unholy horde. Songs are still sung of how he spearheaded the charge deep into the accursed multitude, how demons fell before him like wheat before the scythe, and how at last, though mortally wounded, he destroyed the sorcerer utterly. Fortescue went down in history that day as the hero of Gallowmere, and a time of peace began, which was to last for 100 years. And then the sorcerer returned.
Show how little I know about this game. I thought his last name was pronounced Fortesque.
Oh, yep, nope. It's the very British Fortescue.
Gotcha.
I think that's British. I've definitely heard it in British, other British books and stuff.
This is a very Rayman 2 opening. Yeah, stream is back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll also say, aside from the touched-up graphics, pretty much everything you see here is straight out of the PS1 game.
I can kind of tell in a way just because his character design is so angular that it's obvious that they updated a polygonal model.
Oh, sure, I can see that.
Not that it looks bad, I just...
Sure. Just like the horn thingies coming out of his cheeks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like his horn goatee, that's a fun design I haven't really seen anywhere else.
Are you having that issue too, Crockett?
Audio's fine for Crockett. Alright.
I think it's on your end for that, SG.
Alright, now tell me if this doesn't feel like a blast from the past. Just wait for it. For some reason this one is really long. Damn, they named the whole graveyard after him, he died so hard. This is the menu room. like how they how they do it in games of the era where they'd create a whole room for the main menu, and they just have the camera panning around and all that.
I kind of miss that style, actually. The I don't know, menus seem kind of basic these days. I don't know.
And yeah, the dude's hand moves when you pick different options. Yeah, first time I played this, I was like, oh, this is very Gex.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to do one thing real quick. A neat thing they added for this remake is they added a bunch of little options. For me in particular, they added some colorblind options, and they have all the different types, and you can fiddle futz with the severity and stuff like that. I'm gonna set this to normal just for the sake of the viewers at home. I don't think there's really anything that comes up that I myself would have issues with, but so I'm not too concerned about setting it like that. But I do think it's really neat that they have that they have that as an option.
Yeah.
So there we go. All right, back to it. We'll go ahead and start a new game right away.
Rayman 2 had that similar kind of room as the menu.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that's our hero.
It's always good to have colorblind options because they benefit even people without color blindness if they just preferred that for whatever reason.
Rise and shine. Oh, yeah, that's okay.
It has risen again. Sir Daniel Fortescue, see? The hero of Gallowmere who fell at the first charge. The fog of war and the shrouds of time conspire to turn the arrow fodder into the saviour of the day. But we knows better. Let it alone. Fate has given it a second chance. A chance to forget the ignoble truth. A chance to defeat Zarok and live up to the legend. We hopes it does well.
And now we're right into it.
But yeah, that statue head seemed very much like PS1 just because like the main thing that was talking was just the chin moving up and down. And like a very angular face with the horns and with the ears, and the ears move independently from the rest of the face. It still looks good, but it's you can tell that at the time it was an art style that was made out of limitations.
Sure.
And like it makes sense for a statue head because it doesn't move much anyway, but I can just see how easily a model like that could work on the PS1.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll tell you, even on the PS1, just watching them talk was fascinating stuff. I
Yeah.
love the animations of the gargoyles. And yeah, Dan is voice acted. You can't really understand him, but he is saying all the lines that the captions are saying. The person who voiced him recorded all of his lines while talking with his mouth closed while wearing a bucket on his head. For the full effect, because dude doesn't have a lower jaw. Why do you have the little Wiimote pointer? That is baked into the game. I forget the lore explanation for it, but it basically shows objects for Dan to interact with.
So it's not you're not controlling it.
Not really. It's
It's just like Navi.
yeah, it's basically Navi. Oh, a bit choppy for you, huh, SG?
You must be out of shape after 100 years lying on your back. Use the Crypt to get to grips with your new lease on life.
Alright, we'll go ahead and just walk through all the tutorial stuff here real quick. I don't think there are books like this too much throughout the game, but...
Any treasure that you find will be added to your coin total. Coins are used to buy items from the greedy merchant gargoyles.
Oh, audio skipping stopped? Good. Good. Yeah, this game, you're never super strapped for cash, but it'll definitely behoove us to just keep picking up money just to make sure we got enough to buy stuff from the merchants.
When you're ready to leave this crypt, you'll find an exit at the end of the hall. To unlock the gates, you must find a runestone and place it in the ornate hand set next to the doorway.
So we're working on old school Doom clone rules for keys and locks, basically. Except they're runes that we collect and place in these nifty little hand things.
You will find life bottles throughout Gallowmere. They contain the same magic that rose you from your slumber and will raise you from the dead once again. When your life is low, using this bottle will help you feel a little better. And remember to fill it when you can.
So this is pretty cool. So a life bottle will act as a complete, as basically a second health meter. And different levels in the game will have full life bottles hidden in them, so there's more to collect over the course of the game. Otherwise, we're just looking at health vials that'll replenish some life. There's a couple other ways to restore life too, but we'll get to those when we get to those.
Some weapons contain powers and abilities beyond the ordinary.
So they're basically heart
Be
containers.
sure to
Yep.
test every weapon to discover their secondary abilities. Some weapon abilities are immediate, and some may need a bit of time to charge before they realize their full potential.
Alright, well, we don't quite have a weapon on us, so... But that's okay, because Dan is never quite without a weapon. You see, he can use his arm. Every weapon has a standard attack. In Dan's arm's case, he just flails it. And a secondary attack. His arm acts as a boomerang for some reason. So, in a pinch, if you lose all of your weapons, which is possible in this game, you're brought back to... you always have a stock melee and a stock ranged option. But we can do a bit better than that. We now have throwing daggers, which we can throw one at a time, or charge up to throw a bunch all at once.
Alrighty.
Star rune, so we're good to leave whenever we want. But we definitely want to. We definitely want our main short sword here. Standard slashes for your primary attack. Secondary attack, he charges up for a spin attack.
Always gotta be a spin
During your
attack.
travels
Well, of
through
course.
Gallowmere, you will collect many items. To see your items or to use one, review your inventory. In it, you will also find your Book of Gallowmere, which will keep a record of the denizens you've encountered and bestow you with keen insights that only a disembodied voice could provide.
The Book of Gallowmere is new to the remake. It basically acts as a grimoire for characters you run into. So yeah, they got us covered for Piclopedia stuff.
That's cool. That's exactly what I would want out of a remake. Extra lore stuff.
We've also got our shield. There are 3 different types of shields. Again, in true 90s FPS fashion, it's shields are a secondary stamina meter in addition to our health. Once we burn through a shield, though, that's it. We are out. So we generally want to keep an eye on how much reserve we have left in a given shield.
Track down Xerok by retracing his diabolical odyssey through Gallowmere. You can spot the exits from an area by looking out for his stinking trail of magic slime.
It's a weird way to put it, but basically, whenever you see this particular cloud of dust, that means that's the end of the level. So, let's go ahead and mosey on out. Alright, now here's something else I missed from the era. The map screen. This will be updated over the course of the game.
Yeah, I really miss map screens too.
Mm-hmm. So all
and real map screens where they're actually a map and not just like a glorified level select.
Man, if every level's this easy, you'll have beaten the game by the end of the night. Not quite. Things will ramp up. And you hit the arrow, and Dan zooshes across the worlds to the start of the next level. Leaving the crypt, we enter the graveyard. Take your first steps as a hero and slay some helpless zombies. They may seem cranky, but they just woke up from a nice long nap. Let's see. Oh, right. There's actually write-ups for each of the weapons, too. Small sword, nearly blunt. Swing it hard. Arm, handy when disarmed. Throwing daggers, throw these away. Copper shield, less protective plate, more dinner plate. And we have the Book of Gallowmere here. I'll go ahead and pop this open just to catch up on who we've got so far.
Our bone-headed protagonist, born again into this age of wonders. In life, he was just the worst. A coward, a cheat, a philatelist, or was it a philanderer? I don't recall. But either way, he seems to have woken up different. Perhaps he can redeem himself. Xerok should be more careful where he aims his dark magic.
Let's see. Morton is a character who, for some reason, is really important despite doing absolutely nothing. Like, in the original game, he was supposed to have a whole level to himself, and that ended up getting scrapped. I think he'll show up in cutscene, and that's it. But, yeah, they noted him here.
Morton was so happy when Dan died. Surely he initially had a lot of housework to do, but now he's got the place to himself, and just how he likes it. Of course, Dan coming back to life was a bit of a shock, but Morton will do anything he can to keep his home buddy safe. and get him back to the earthly darkness as quickly as possible.
So yeah, he just lives in Dan's skull. He does nothing, he just lives in there.
Kind of a shame they didn't bring that level back for the remake. But...
Yeah, it would have been perfect opportunity to do so,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I'll talk about it more when we get to the point of the game when that would have come up.
Can you imagine how boring it would be to be a sentient being, wise even, and be stuck permanently to a brick wall? No wonder these guys are grumpy. They pass time by eavesdropping, gossiping, and bad-mouthing any bizarre-looking adventurers that might pass by.
I think that's all we got for now. Just do a quick look. Friendly characters, enemy characters, and boss characters. Oh, we do have Zarok right away.
It is said that Xeroc's preoccupation with necromancy stems from an obsession to resurrect his childhood puppy. Let's just reflect for a moment. Isn't that just tragic? All this poor troubled soul has ever wanted is to command the forces of darkness, enslave mankind, and play ball one last time with dear old Mr. Snuffy.
I
I appreciate that all of these lore all this lore that they added, it's all voice acted.
yeah, that's a fun little extra bit. I think in the original game, the narrator just did the opening cutscene and that's it. So they've definitely given her a lot more work to do this time around.
I would imagine, because they would not have the space for all of that voice acting on the PS1.
Alright, so we'll get more journal entries the further along we go in the game. Is it the same voice actors? No, actually, it was a completely different voice actor for the original. I'm not sure if actors in general reprise their roles. I know Dan's the same guy, but... okay, yeah, enough faffing about.
And you don't have to worry about him sounding too old for the role.
Yeah, no. I'll check out entries after levels or at the start of levels, just so we're not sitting here listening to stuff all at once. But yeah, every enemy and every NPC in the game will gets their own write-up.
Welcome back to your beloved Galomir. The stinking dead have risen up to dance with the lifeless living, and they want to do it over your dead body.
So, true to ghouls and ghosts, the dead just rise up out of the ground in the graveyard here and just come right after us. Notably, Dan does not have invincibility frames. The game makes up for it by making him super tanky, but you do have to constantly keep an eye on his health for that reason.
That small light following you around is a wisp. The heroes of the Hall are not supposed to intervene in mortal affairs, but when they heard that Sir Daniel Fortescue had a shot at redemption, well, they decided to give you a hand with your depth perception. He will circle enemies, helping you direct your ranged attacks, but he'll also let you know what things might merit a closer look.
Okay, so there's your lore explanation for that thing. Oh, rune right here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Go over here. And incidentally, a lot of the sweeping hills and the weird rolling architecture of this world was in the original game as well.
Yeah, I really appreciate all the weird architecture, and I can imagine that, like, by using really weird polygons, they can, um, like, give it a distinct style without being too heavy on the resources.
Definitely.
Sometimes it may be useful to view the world from a different point of view. Be sure to take a moment from time to time to enjoy the beauty of our beloved Gallowmere. Keep your eye peeled for anything interesting.
Basically, just keep your eyes open for stuff. Also, this wasn't in the original game, but you can do an over-the-shoulder camera just to help gain extra perspective. Actually, the original game made very strong use of the PS1's low draw distance, kind of like Silent Hill, where it's except instead of fog, it's just nighttime everywhere, so it's naturally super dark.
Don't let zombies get you down. Tend those wounds by stepping into this fountain of rejuvenation.
Right, so these are also things that will come up throughout the world. If we step into these, this will heal us over time. And if we had used one of our life bottles, we would be able to fill that up as well.
Wow, it's doing Estus flasks before it was cool.
There it is, yes. Now, the only thing is, these founts only restore a certain amount of health. After that, it dries out completely. So you have to be very careful managing your resources in this game.
I see.
So, Dan's not a super elegant fighter, but it is a lot of fun to just wade into a group of zombies and just go spinning through them.
Is this so this game is level based, so would the healing spots rejuve themselves if you left the level?
I think so. I haven't really messed around with that, but I think they do. Those do come back between visits.
I see.
Remember, nothing remains hidden under the gaze of an angel.
So I missed the intro, I guess, so I'm a little confused. Why was this disgraced cheat in a fancy crypt? So Dan was a big braggart in life who made himself sound like he was this great big hero. So the king had him lead the charge against Zarok, only for him to die like a chump because he actually really sucked. So the king, in an act of propaganda, made it sound like Dan saved the day and was the hero that defeated Zarok once the war was ended and Zarok was actually defeated. Basically, for the past 100 years, he's been living, so to speak, a lie, and for whatever reason, when he came back, he wasn't evil like all of the other undead Zarok revived, so this is a chance to redeem himself.
The object here is the chalice. Every time you dispatch an enemy with a sword, the chalice fills a little more. Fill the chalice and then collect it, and you will be worthy of visiting the sacred Hall of Heroes to claim a new weapon. There is a chalice to be found in every region of Gallowmere. They are all hidden or well guarded. Only a true hero will collect the full set.
Right, so that's your main 100% completion incentive. You want to beat up a lot of enemies. Once you do, you're able to collect the chalice, take the chalice to the end of the level, and you enter the Hall of Heroes for a new weapon. Every level except Dan's Crypt has a chalice, so definitely worth keeping an eye out for it. Well, are you a true hero, Mr. McBlank? Well, we'll get there now, won't we?
Did you collect all of the DK hero coins?
Actually, yeah, that's a perfect analogy here. Oh, another flask. Excellent. Right, so if you see that percentage at the top right of the screen, that refers to the amount of enemies I've beaten up such that I'm getting close to completely filling the chalice. You don't have to beat every enemy in a level to fill the chalice. In fact, in a lot of cases, you don't even have to beat most of them. You just have to do a decent amount of them. Different levels will play with how many enemies they expect you to do, so in some cases it can get pretty tight, but as long as we're diligent about taking guys out, it's not too bad.
The living world lies beyond these skull gates. The master of the hilltop mausoleum, the stained glass demon, has possession of the skull key.
Right. So basically, we can't go this way yet. We'll have to come back after clearing another level.
So, were those just text in the original? Or were they still voice acted?
I'm trying to remember. They might have been voice acted. Alright, in any case, now that we've killed enough enemies, we can collect the chalice. And as long as we clear the level, we'll get to go to the Hall of Heroes. Let's see, we'll go that way in a sec. I'm picturing one of Dan's arms next to the No Hopers sign. I like that.
It was in the trash can. You just couldn't see it.
Just buried under Earthworm Jim's gun? No, wait, that was to the side, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Alright. Alright, so these merchant gargoyles are where we get items. They will sell us additional ammo for our projectile attacks. And in certain circumstances, if we lose our normal weapons, we can buy them back from these guys. We'll go ahead and top off our throwing daggers. Actually, now that I have the chalice, I can totally just skip past the rest of these guys. Eh. Well, maybe we'll take some of them out.
Feel free to have a paddle in the shallow water, but don't be tempted to go for a swim. Buoyancy can be a problem for those of a dead disposition.
Yeah, Dan's no swimmer. Right, so there are three types of shields in the game. Whenever we get multiple of the same type of shield, it'll just replenish the stamina of our current shield. That's the only way you can repair shields.
Well, that's not really repairing it. It's just getting a new one.
Yep, it's repairing. All the Mightiest heroes are celebrated here. They aren't so interested in being your friend just yet. Slay a Zarok or two, and maybe they'll come around.
Welcome to the Hall of Heroes, where the bravest warriors from history spend eternity, feasting, singing, and arm wrestling. If they think you're worthy enough, you may be able to persuade them to give you a new weapon.
Right. So every time we collect a chalice, we get to come in here and try to impress a new hero.
To pay homage to the heroes, stand in front of their designated statues and await spiritual guidance.
Yeah, just walking through, we'll do that in a sec, but just walking through, you can see the statues of all the other heroes who are celebrated in the Hall of Heroes, and get an indication of what kind of weapons you might be looking at. Also, Dan does have has a place here, he just hasn't earned it, so he doesn't have a statue. He just has where the statue would go.
Interesting.
Captain Fortescue, it's me, Canny Tim. Does the battle go well? How I wish I could fight at your side again, sir. But hold, you could take my crossbow. It's got rapid fire and you can ricochet the darts off walls to shoot around corners. I used it at the Battle of Gallowmere. After you were slain, I shot Zarok's champion, Lord Cardok. A clean kill through the eye at some 1,000 yards. Not that there's anything clever about shooting someone in the eye, sir. Oh, goodbye, sir.
Alrighty. As Canny Tim there mentioned, the crossbow's special property is that its shots will refract off walls. I guess Joseph Joestar wasn't just making stuff up there. And
Revolver Ocelot now.
there you go. Now we can only get one treasure at a time for each visit, but we'll definitely be coming back here as often as we can.
Only when you are truly worthy as a hero will you be able to ascend to the higher level of this hall. When you have paid homage to all of the heroes in the lower hall, the ghostly stairs will then become solid.
Read as they separates early game weapons from late game weapons.
So there's a lot of different weapons in this game, huh?
There are.
It's pretty cool for such an early game.
Mm-hmm.
Early 3D game.
Oh, and there's a merchant gargoyle here to buy more ammo if you really wanna. But we're good for now. What a weird way to hold a crossbow. Dan's just that much of a chat. He holds his crossbow like a gangsta. Sure. Alright, so we made our way through the graveyard. And now we're on to Cemetery Hill. The Hilltop Mausoleum waits atop Cemetery Hill. It's a rocky road, but exercise would do those old bones some good.
So, even from the shackles of death, my old enemy pursues me. You're too late, Fortescue. Already my army has risen from the grave. You will never leave this necropolis.
Alright. Let's go ahead and see what new entries we have real quick.
The mightiest heroes of Gallowmere are awarded a place in the Hall of Heroes. It's an exclusive club with access paid for by only the greatest of deeds. Who runs the place? We don't know. How do the heroes pass the time for all eternity? We don't know. But trust me, these heroes are the best of the best, and they deserve every moment of whatever it is they do up there. Even in medieval times, there were vending machines designed to part a foolish hero from his gold. Clever customers may qualify for a discount. Just don't ask the merchant how he acquires his wares.
see. Okay.
These guys were fashionably undead before it was fashionable to be undead. Your brain may have long since rotted, but that won't stop them from eating it. Just a few chops should do them in. Be careful not to miss. Oh, that would be embarrassing. Dan's #1 fans. They can't afford to lend a hand, but they'll follow you to the ends of the earth. Or at least to the end of the graveyard.
This narrator's voice sounds super familiar. Yeah, I don't know what else she's been in. She does sound kind of familiar, though.
These guardian gargoyles aren't much for conversation, and don't ask to hear their singing voice, unless you're into rock and roll. Badooch.
Alright. Enough of that.
Some obstructions can be smashed down with clubs and certain other weapons. Try experimenting.
We don't have any clubs yet, but we'll keep that in mind.
These boulders are going to crush your bones if you aren't careful. I hope you have a good shield equipped. Remember that each hit on your shield will chip away at its durability. Better it than you, though.
So I assume they probably have some runes that you can only get to after you have the right weapon to get to them.
Yeah, though. Yes, but if you're doing, if you're hitting all of the chalices each time you visit a level, or if you collect every chalice the first time through a level, you'll never really be starved for, or you'll never really be gated out of stuff. But it's definitely something to keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
It's
Of great archaeological interest. Destroy the boulder and plunder the valuable treasures within.
we'll be back for that one. Oh, wait a sec. If I remember correctly, that's right. Skull chests like that we can use as powder kegs to blow up nearby enemies. I totally forgot to do so, but that's okay. I don't need to buy anything back just yet. Okay, so the main gimmick of this level is that it is 3D Donkey Kong. We have to get to the top of the hill, and those boulders ain't gonna stop coming down.
Alternately, it's Bob on Battlefield.
Oh, true enough. Now, I thought for sure I'd be able to I'd be able to do a bit more down here before heading on up, but I guess this is what we're working with. That's okay. This might be a level that we just have to come back to. So, these boulders will absolutely pulverize Dan if you just stand in the way of them.
I mean, that makes sense.
Ow. Oh, hey. Okay. Oh, I guess this is the way over here.
3D Donkey Kong or just as 3D as ever Bob on Battlefield? You decide.
Alright, we got our first club. The clubs are our first weapon with actual durability. So once we wear through them, that's it. We'll have to pick up a new one. Luckily, there's clubs all the hell over the place, so we'll never be too starved for one. Just something to be mindful of, though.
The club is a crude but effective weapon. Bash with it, burn with it, but beware, one bash too many, and it will break.
Basically, yeah.
So the club is in this it's a weapon that you can find. So, um, is that what they usually do when there's like a context-sensitive obstacle like this? You just find it in the level somewhere?
Kinda. You'll see a bit later on, we'll get weapons from the Hall of Heroes that can replace some of the club's functions, in which case you would generally cycle those out for that version of it. But
I see.
but a lot of these levels have specific gimmicks, so from that perspective, they're context sensitive. But there's you do sometimes have to go looking around for stuff if you're careless or if you're not going for all the chalices. Donk.
Gotcha.
Alright, now that we have a club, we can get into here. Donk. And yeah, the club's two functions are Dan can slam it, which does chip away at the durability, or you can hold it out, and if you hold it over fire, it'll ignite it like a torch. Which can be useful for some things that you need to burn down, but that chews away at durability like no one's business.
Fresh air. We hate these dark old caves and their filthy stench of old witches. A coven of the warty old hags lived here once, unholy fires burning all night while they brewed up unspeakable muck in their cauldrons. They moved on years back, but the smell still makes our eyes sting.
Whoop. Oh. I gotta be a bit more careful. I just burned through one of my health bottles. Oops. Not too bad since I've got plenty more juice where that's coming from, but something to be mindful of. Come back to that in a sec.
This room right here is like very much in the spirit of Doom and stuff.
Oh, sure. Sure, I can see
like,
that.
All of the enemies in a room waiting to like open them up and stuff.
Just in enemy closets?
Yeah.
A guide to covens for witches and witchcraft enthusiasts. A witch's coven would reach the height of its power only when all of their sacred flames were alight. Witches have been known to offer help to the questing adventurer, yet they are a reclusive people and have to be summoned by the aid of mystic charms or talismans. Let it be known that help from a witch is rarely given freely, and the witch will more often than not make a request of the adventurer before any such help is given. If seeking to summon a witch, remember that they are quite territorial. Any signs of previous witch activity in an area is a good indication that a witch can be called upon.
Right. So basically, what we're doing here is we're actually doing a bit of a side quest here in this section. We could have just skipped ahead to the top of Cemetery Hill, but by doing this, we're kind of getting some stuff squared away a little early that for later on in the game. Right, so with this, we'll go ahead and activate that, and we'll just deal with these guys. Alright, got our chalice. We've got the talisman, which will be helpful in later levels. And well, we burned through a lot of our health, but we at least got most of our health replenished, most of one of our bottles replenished. Now, no more delay. Let's work our way up that mountain. Or
Alrighty.
hill. So,
What is a hill but a small mountain?
oh. And there's your incentive not to get burned alive. Or undead. Not a lot of health remaining, too. I gotta be real careful.
Yeah.
Oh boy, okay. Luckily there's a new shield here, so this will help us out. True to form, though, it's better for us to go up the... it's better for us to take the shortcuts when we can, just to avoid having to deal with the barrels. I mean, boulders. Of course, the other option is to, if you time it right, you can just bash the rocks and be done with that. Oh. Whoop. Crap.
Careful.
Or you can fail really hard and just make things super difficult for you. Crap. I think I have to start the level over if I mess up here, so.
Yeah.
Alright. We'll have to go for the offensive. And I got owned.
You got overwhelmed by the strawberry jelly.
I did. I looked up the narrator on IMDb. Apparently her name is Lonnie Manella, and she's been in a ton of video games. Oh, okay. Yep, we'll have to take this from the top. Don't worry though, we've read all this stuff, so this will go by a lot quicker. I guess you could say that this first section here is or this level here is kind of the noob trap. It's not really difficult. There's just a lot of opportunities for a careless player to screw themselves over. So this is where you learn, hey, maybe just don't bumble into things and think things through.
I
Also-
really appreciate that kind of design because it's like, once they feel comfortable with the controls and they've had 2 levels to do all that, I think this is not really to the time to like test them, but like to just to make sure that they're actually paying attention and not just going around mindlessly.
Mm-hmm. If this is a noob trap, what does it say about you? Dude, don't even try to think about the fact that I've played this game twice. 100% of the way. There we go. Much smarter way for me to go, for me to do it.
I get it though. Sometimes when you've done something before, you can rush it on your subsequent playthroughs, just because like you expect to be able to do it faster, but sometimes you still have to take it slowly.
Definitely. Oh. Speaking of doing things like a moron, I totally ran into that fire.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I feel like I've accomplished much here tonight. Alright, let's get out of here before I die again horribly. It's for intimidation. Yeah, clearly that's what Sir Fortescue's most concerned with here.
I mean, to be fair, a man on fire is pretty intimidating.
I guess.
I would probably run away if he was coming at me. It's the Ghost Rider approach. Flaming skeleton equals scary. True that.
Oh. Right, well that'll be our backup shield in case we run out of this one.
SGS, where some of the boulders glowing and some not.
The ones that are glowing, we can't punch through. Also, it's Donkey Kong rules, so the glowy boulders have a much harder to predict path. Whoop. Case in point. Actually,
Man, they even have the ladders. Is very blatantly Donkey Kong.
I kind of like that though.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, do that. Whoop. Uh oh. Okay. We'll wait for these to go by. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Alright, it's okay.
We have failed the master. We give our lives.
And now I can go back freely. But first, let's heal.
How would you design Donkey Kong in 4D?
I think you'd be strictly working in the realm of Quantum Kong. Alright,
I
so...
don't think the world's ready for that yet.
So, perfect example there. That healing point was only enough to restore my current health meter and one bottle, and only a little bit of change. I wasn't able to fully restore the other bottle.
Is that other thing
Oh,
not one?
there is a chest up there, but I'll come back to that.
Well, the glowing green fog wasn't another healing spot?
Oh, no, in the doorway, that's the end of the level.
Oh, okay.
Is Quantum Kong another one of the Kongs that endless DK rap? Oh, shoot. If I'd gone the long way, I would have had plenty of copper shields to keep me going. Oh well. And then just for the see what we're working with here. Oh, right. This is something that you sometimes run into with the remake.
The adventurer would be wise to be thorough in the exploration of an area. Hidden locations reap great rewards.
Basically, the game telling you, "Hey, buddy, there's bonus stuff in this game. Just don't always take the obvious path." Oh, bother. These books can sometimes be a little finicky, so if you see me just standing by it not doing nothing, sometimes I've hit the button, but Dan can't get in place, so the cutscenes or the dialogue's not triggering.
from the battle so soon? It must think it is a hero by now. But only a true hero is worthy of a place in the Hall of Heroes. See the ghostly statue of your fraudster self? When it has turned solid, a true hero you will be.
Alright. Let's see who we've got access to now. Oh, back to, I think it's just back to Canny Tim again. Alright.
Hurrah! I knew it would take more than the army of the evil dead to throw your strider. I've something that may help you on your quest, Captain. I give it to you freely, though I have no idea what it is.
Well, we will always take more health. Occasionally you'll get something like that instead of a new weapon.
I don't like that though. It's keeps it varied and interesting.
Definitely. Alright, so we've braved Cemetery Hill. Now it's on to the Hilltop Mausoleum. Oh, I never actually noticed that. So, if you're looking really closely, you can see boulders rolling down the Cemetery Hill. But once you go up it, they stop rolling down to represent the demons, the gargoyles, blowing themselves up.
No, they're still rolling.
Oh. Eh. Still. The rest of what I said, I think that's cool. The Master of the Hilltop Mausoleum is just dying to meet you. Don't keep him waiting. He's got a heart of glass. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, it did have a gap, so I could understand why you would think that.
Sure. Alright. I love it when people think they notice really cool details that don't exist. Yep. Yep. Alright. I think the headless zombies are the only new ones that we saw last time.
Have you ever had one of those days where you leave the house full of breezy purpose, only to realize that you've left something really important at home? Well, that's how these guys feel all the time.
Yep. Sometimes that's all you need.
You are entering a house of pain. Rumors abound of evil doings in the secret catacombs below this very hall.
Oh, these guys suck. So these guys, if you're not careful, will totally steal your weapons.
They're likes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically. Or the, the friggin', gnomes in, Golden Axe, I guess.
They didn't steal from you, really. They're more like a bonus game.
I'm thinking of the PS3 one where they do actually steal your weapons.
Gotcha.
Forgot that wasn't in the original, though.
Yeah, in the original, you just beat up harmless gnomes to get bonus points.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're the hero, I guess.
I'm kind of disappointed there aren't unique descriptions for each of the heroes in the hall and they're just lumped together instead. I think they do get their own descriptions later on. We just haven't gotten them yet because we, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they get descriptions. Maybe we just have to get a little bit further in the game to see some of them. So in any case, the way forward is blocked, so we've got to make our own way. Now obviously where we want to go is the glowy one, but I'm checking all these other ones just to make sure there aren't any goodies that I'm missing. Aha! Nice.
Watch out for sticky-fingered imps. These thieves will strip you down to your armored undies. Rumor has it they fence their stolen wares with the merchant gargoyles.
No secret passages leading directly to the credits? Yeah, no, this ain't Ocarina of Time.
I mean, it might exist. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Who knows what the speedrun scene of this game is like?
Oh, right, okay. So with these glass spikes here, they will absolutely hurt if I walk over them, but I can just club them. I'll need the moon rune to get through here. Alright. In order to do that, you need to set up a bunch of stuff in Paper Mario Color Splash first. This looks like the kind of game to have absurd jank skips and tricks. You know what? That's fair. Honestly, would not surprise me.
I mean, that's just the era.
Whoops.
They were figuring out 3D, so you're gonna always run into wacky collision nonsense.
Alright. We'll take this. And thank you, game. It's a little time challenge just to keep you on your toes there. Oh. Excuse me. Alright. Here we go. We'll have to double back once we get the moon rune.
The stained glass demon is the master of the mausoleum. His wretched soul lies preserved inside a frozen glass heart. Shrouded in a veil of darkness beneath the mausoleum, you will find this pre-frozen menace.
Something to look forward to. Alright, so Moon Rune, Chaos Rune. Oh! Hey! Good. Alright, so there's a spring there. If we lose health, we can just double back there. Looks like I can't go through that way. We'll hold off on the moon rune just yet. Because... Oh, here.
The would-be phantom longs to play a new tune, but he seems doomed to repeat the same cause of despair over and over.
Specifically, the chords of despair.
Yeah. Well, so let's see if we can't help him out. This is another of the game's side quests. Push against the fire block to push it down the pathway. Alrighty. Okay, and that'll be the... wait. Oh, I can't do the camera here. Can I angle it just right? You can kind of see it. That'll be the frozen heart. We'll come back to thaw that out. Now I'll go grab the moon rune. Yoink. The Mune Rune. Oh, wait, that's right. There's a way that you get back there. I think if... No. There we go. There we go. You know, I think SG has the right of it. Mune Rune. See, and the Mune Rune brings us to this room. Gah, doesn't matter. Got the sheet music, now let's get the hell out of here. Alright, and let's bring this to that poor tormented pianist.
I'm always fond of a little, like, light puzzle solving on side quests. That's
Yeah.
always fun.
Pull it out from our inventory. Sheet music. Music to your fears. Alright, we get some money and our the chalice for our troubles. Now let's go ahead and thaw that heart out. Oh, wait, no, I just have to push up against it. There we go. And let's go check that out. Real quick, I'll switch. I'm gonna put this up there. Alright. Now I'll tell you, this boss must have looked super awesome for kids back in '98.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a really cool idea, too. Because, like, obviously it's all polygons, but, like, so are stained glass windows. So
Yeah.
that's a really smart use of limitations.
Alright, when he exposes his heart is when I can attack him. Otherwise, I gotta keep on the move. Whoa. Oh, crap. Okay. I don't remember him being able to freeze me. Unless... Oh, shit. Whoa. Crap, he took out like 3% of my health. And Dan's a bit tanky. Pretty straightforward boss. Yeah, not a super tough boss, but something for early game to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, a lot of it is just getting you used to tracking one single opponent and whatnot.
Alright. And with him defeated, we'll grab this skull key, and we'll be on our merry way. Actually, I'm gonna heal up real quick while I can. Because you do not recover health between levels. At least I don't think you do. Then go for some skulking with the skull key. Green Goblin head per eye. Okay, sure.
It's the Hall of Heroes shopping mall. Bargain hunters should check out the ground floor. Well-to-do shoppers should check out the upper floor. That's where it's at.
Alright. Okay. So this time it's this guy that we talk to.
Ah, Fortescue! What's this I hear about that archcad Zarok still being alive? Thought you killed the fella. Never mind, you old warhorse. Better show him what's what, eh? I expect Johnny's zombies a bit more of a handful than you remember. How are you doing for weapons? Here, take my warhammer. It'll smash anything and it won't fall apart like a club. I only ever get to use it cracking walnuts around this place. Nonsense, Fortescue. I won't take no for an answer. Knock a few heads for old Stan your iron hewer, eh?
Alright. So the hammer will replace our clubs most of the time. We can't light it on fire like a torch, but hammer is super powerful as an early game weapon. Standard attack is just mashing it. Secondary attack is really mashing it. For an option that just makes you feel powerful, even if it doesn't actually make you powerful, hammer's where you want to be. Alright. Mash it with a hammer! Also, I just really love the animation of Sir Fortescue running around charging it. Alright, with the Hilltop Mausoleum cleared, we can now return to the graveyard. The prodigal skeleton returns. You must now make your way to the land of the living, but beware the graveyard guardians. They have a thing for burying bones. Yeah, so this is cool. It's a whole new level, but it reuses a lot of the same level geometry from the original. Very faithfully, too. Oh. Whoops. Put the Serious Sam Kamikaze yell over that animation, it's perfect. Yes, absolutely. Oh, right. Real quick. Yep, new lore entries. We have Mr. Organ here.
The imps of the Hilltop Mausoleum grew tired of the Phantom's incessant practice sessions and hid his sheet music away. Like most impish plans, this one backfired. The Phantom continues to bang the keys, but sorely lacks improvisational skills. The imps of the Hilltop Mausoleum grew tired.
This one.
Back in King Peregrine's day, imps were often kept as household servants. Sadly, those were cruel times, and many imps were treated very poorly by the masters. Really, it was no surprise when these cunning little creatures formed a secret alliance with Xerox. On the morning of the Battle of Gallowmere, every last one of King Peregrine's men awoke to find his house imp gone, and along with them every last undergarment in the kingdom. Never before had an army's charge been so devastatingly broken before battle had even begun.
And then the stained glass demon.
I always thought it was a bad idea when they put a demon on a stained glass window. Isn't that a little odd for a holy place, I said. What if a passing sorcerer brings it to life using arcane magic, I said. But did they listen? Yes, he might have a glass jaw, but if you think shattering his dark heart is going to be easy, oh, you'd better think again.
Alright. So the only thing with the hammer is that it is not a very fast weapon. Again, you will take a lot of hits if you just go blindly charging at dudes. But it is a great crowd control weapon if you know how to use it. And yet, still not as much of a glass jaw as Glass Joe. Quite true. Oops. Oh! Here we get our first silver shield. Do those little hand enemies do anything other than wander around? You can squish them. You get a trophy for squishing them. It's the game yelling at you for squishing them. No, but now that we've got multiple types of shields, we can actually swap between them. For the most part, you'll the shields, the only difference between them is the amount of durability they have. So for the most part, you want to stick with the bigger one just so you have more. But it is useful to swap back and forth between them, just having that as an option. Basically, if you do inventory management, you have way more durability, shield durability, than you do have with just the one. Come on. Come on. Okay. Just out of curiosity. Alright, yeah, they gate this off here so you can't go any further back than this. Oh, but I do definitely want to hit up that, that spring. If I can work my way over there? How would I... Oh, I might not actually be able to. Nah, that can't be right. Nah, I won't spend a whole lot of time trying to get there. Just... Yeah, so if I could jump up... Oh, I see. Oh, that's tricky. Okay. So if I sneak along here... Haha! And then let's fill as much of those bottles in reserve as we can. Alright. That helps us out quite a bit. Go into the inventory and bring out the skull key, a skeleton key of grave importance. Oh, right. Okay. So, it's worth note that this was one of the first games to have a DualShock functionality built in. So the slower you move, if you move nice and slowly, you can actually sneak by these guys and not have to deal with them. Well... No one heard anything. Nothing, nothing. Thank you for joining tonight's MediEvil slow run. Step on a stick. Roll a 4. I rolled a 4! Whoop. Don't want to fall in the water there. Alright. Here we go, though. Poor sucker. Da! They aren't especially tough for nothing. Just saves you a bit of trouble sneaking up on them. Because otherwise, like, dum-ti-dum-ti-dum. There we go. Not too tricky, just they can overwhelm you if you don't if you're not paying attention.
Want to be faster on your feet? Want to be able to bash down walls by charging into them? All you have to do is defeat the evil guardians of the graveyard and gain this new ability. You will never know why you left the grave without it.
Alright. So, something for us to look forward to. First, let's check out down here while we're here. I guess that sparkly's just for effect. Alright, we'll double back for that chalice in just a sec. Let's see. Okay. So you can kind of tell from here, but in order to get out, we'd have to create our own bridge across. Let's go ahead and top off on crossbow bolts. Head on back down. There we go. Nice, nice. See, like I said, in the long run, the hammer definitely fades out of use after a while, but in the early game, it just feels super good to pummel enemies with that. I think there's one more I have to drop down. Whoop, work with me. Is there a shortcut down here? Whoop. Oh. Heh. Thought I was a goner for sure. No. Looks like that's it. Okay. Works for me. Little spring to top you off if you need it. And let's go for the gusto. You're so close to activating an out-of-bounds shortcut. Alright. Yeah, I grabbed the chalice, not to worry. Alright. So the two guardians are, the two guardians at first will take turns attacking me. They're pretty simple bosses, but it is a bit tricky to get the timing on them. Well, unless you just do the big AoE attack. Alright. Yeah, they make sad dog noises when you hit them. But they're okay. They just warped back up there. They were just testing me, you see. Hmm? Oh. Hey, it's a cute little smiley face. Well, I don't know why you're there, but, hey, little smiley face. We'll heal up right away. And with the Guardians appeased, we have now unlocked the Daring Dash. When we hit the shield button while we're running, we perform the Daring Dash. That lets us just charge through stuff. Daring Dash, you know, is the speedrunners, what the speedrunners are holding out for, just for the sheer rapid movement.
All has changed outside the necropolis. Paths go this way, paths go that way.
Whoa.
Nasty, painful
excuse me.
Death waits round every turn and over every hill. Bon voyage.
Wisp must have gotten in the way. Alright. Let's leave the mausoleum. And the environs around the mausoleum, I guess. I think from this point the gargoyle will just repeat his lines from before.
The Hall of Heroes shopping mall.
Yeah. Demons drop from Dan's Daring Dash. Nice. Oh, looks like we get to talk to this guy again.
Bravo, Fortescue! Some of the other chaps wagered Zarok would be using your ribcage as a toast rack by now, but I knew you'd pull through. Here, I have a little extra something here I can give you. Could help the old quest. You want it?
And just some money this time around. Nothing super fancy, but I'm remembering now. Every hero, I believe, you visit them at least twice. The first time they give you a basic item, and then second time around they're like, hey, you're doing alright, let me give you some more goodies. I think most of the time it'll end up being more money than health pickups, but they mix it up. Is Goom's still here? I think Goom's had to step away. This might actually be a decent breaking point then. It's a little early, but just because the game opens up a little bit from this point on, and I definitely want Gooms here for some of that. So, yeah. All right. Well, hey, it's Windmillville. Oh, yeah, I can kind of see that. Alright, so we'll go ahead and call it here, but next time around, we'll have a small choice. Honestly, it's not really a choice, but we'll talk about it. From this point on, the game will branch out, and we will we'll have one or two paths to choose from. But stuff to look forward to for next time. For tonight, thank you super much for tuning in.